What happens when alleged leaked jail emails expose a disturbing obsession hidden beneath one of reality television's biggest scandals? For years, the Duggar family carefully built an image centered around faith, tradition, and strict family values. But ever since Josh Duggar became the focus of criminal investigations and public controversy, every courtroom update, rumor, and online leak has triggered intense public attention. Now, new internet discussions are exploding over alleged jail emails that many believe reveal something even more unsettling than people expected. A strange fixation involving family weddings, emotional control, and the dynamics surrounding major family events. Some critics believe the messages point toward manipulation. Others argue they reveal jealousy, narcissism, and an obsession with maintaining influence over the family, even from behind bars. And across social media, one question keeps appearing. Why do family weddings seem to carry such emotional importance for Josh Duggar while serving time in prison? Tonight, we're diving into the controversy surrounding the alleged leaked emails, the online reactions spreading across YouTube, Reddit, and TikTok, the psychological theories people are debating, and why this story has reignited criticism surrounding the entire Duggar family image. Because the deeper this story goes, the stranger it becomes. Before diving into the leaked email controversy itself, it's important to understand why anything connected to the Duggar family immediately attracts enormous public attention. The family first rose to fame through reality television programs like 19 Kids and Counting and later Counting On, where audiences were introduced to an ultra-conservative household built around strict religious beliefs, traditional gender roles, and carefully controlled public appearances. For years, the Duggars marketed themselves as an example of discipline, faith, and family unity. Millions of viewers watched the children grow up on television, celebrating birthdays, courtships, weddings, and major milestones as though they were part of one massive, wholesome American success story. At the center of that image was Josh Duggar, the oldest Duggar son, once portrayed as responsible, mature, and destined to carry the family's public reputation into the future. But over time, that carefully crafted image completely unraveled. A series of scandals, investigations, and criminal accusations transformed Josh Duggar from reality television personality into one of the most controversial figures associated with family-centered reality TV culture. Public trust in the Duggar brand collapsed almost overnight, and media attention surrounding the family shifted from admiration to constant scrutiny. Since then, nearly every development connected to the family has generated enormous online discussion. Every courtroom appearance, every social media post, every rumored family disagreement, every wedding, holiday gathering, or public sighting. The internet now analyzes Duggar-related news with an intensity usually reserved for major celebrity scandals. And now, leaked jail email discussions are adding yet another explosive chapter to the ongoing controversy. According to growing online speculation, several alleged messages written while Josh was incarcerated focused heavily on upcoming family weddings, emotional reactions to wedding celebrations, and frustrations surrounding his inability to participate in those events personally. At first glance, that might not sound particularly shocking. After all, weddings are major family milestones. But critics online believe the tone of the alleged messages reveals something deeper beneath the surface. A strong emotional fixation on maintaining influence, attention, and psychological presence within important family events, even while physically separated from the family itself. Some internet commentators argue the emails allegedly show resentment over losing control of the spotlight. Others believe the messages demonstrate jealousy, emotional dependency, or an ongoing need to remain central to family dynamics, despite the public scandal surrounding him. And because Duggar family weddings have always played a massive role in the family's public identity, the controversy surrounding these alleged emails has quickly exploded across YouTube, Reddit, TikTok, and online discussion forums. For critics of the Duggar family, the situation reinforces long-standing concerns about unhealthy power dynamics inside the family structure. For supporters, however, some argue that portions of the online reaction may be exaggerated or speculative, especially since many discussions rely heavily on leaked information and internet interpretation rather than officially verified statements. Either way, the controversy has reignited public fascination with the Duggar family once again. The controversy reportedly began when screenshots and summaries of alleged jail emails connected to Josh Duggar started spreading across online discussion forums, gossip communities, and YouTube commentary channels. At first, the posts appeared in scattered corners of the internet, anonymous uploads, reposted screenshots, and lengthy breakdown threads claiming to analyze private prison communications. But within days, the alleged leaks were everywhere. Reaction channels on YouTube began producing rapid response videos examining the wording line by line. Reddit users created sprawling discussion threads attempting to verify details, compare timelines, and connect the alleged emails to known family events. And almost immediately, social media users began dissecting every sentence. Some people questioned whether the leaks were authentic at all. Others argued the language sounded consistent with Josh Duggar's past public behavior, communication style, and emotional patterns already discussed during earlier controversies surrounding the Duggar family. But regardless of whether viewers fully believed the emails were genuine, one thing became very clear. People were fascinated by the repeated references to family weddings. According to online summaries circulating at the center of the controversy, the alleged emails focused heavily on wedding planning details, emotional reactions to ceremonies, frustrations about missing family events, and anxieties surrounding changing relationships within the family structure. And that is where internet speculation exploded. Because many critics began interpreting the messages not as ordinary sadness about missing important milestones, but as evidence of a deeper emotional fixation on maintaining psychological involvement in major family moments, especially weddings. That interpretation quickly fueled massive online debate. Some viewers argued the internet was reading far too much into emotional language written by someone isolated in prison. Others believed the repeated focus on ceremonies, family dynamics, and relationship transitions revealed something more psychologically revealing. The uncertainty only made the story spread faster. And in today's internet culture, uncertainty often becomes gasoline for virality. Entire online communities now operate like digital detective agencies. Users collect screenshots, compare old interviews, search archived episodes, examine timelines, and build elaborate theories around public scandals. Few families attract that kind of obsessive internet attention more consistently than the Duggars. For years, the Duggar family built a public image centered around religion, strict moral values, family unity, courtship traditions, and carefully controlled appearances through reality television. That image later collided with multiple scandals involving Josh Duggar, transforming the family into a constant subject of online scrutiny. So when alleged prison communications suddenly appeared online, internet communities immediately treated them like puzzle pieces in a much larger narrative. The idea of leaked prison emails added another layer of fascination. For many viewers, prison communication already carries an aura of secrecy and restriction. The possibility that private messages had somehow escaped into public view created a sense of forbidden access, as though audiences were reading thoughts never meant to be seen outside a controlled environment. That dynamic drove enormous curiosity across social media platforms. On Reddit, users debated the legitimacy of the screenshots for thousands of comments at a time. Some focused on technical questions about how prison messaging systems operate. Others concentrated entirely on the emotional tone of the alleged conversations. Meanwhile, YouTube commentary creators amplified the discussion even further. Channels dedicated to reality television scandals, internet controversies, and celebrity gossip began posting dramatic thumbnails, emotional reactions, and speculative analysis videos. Many framed the alleged emails as evidence of hidden psychological patterns within the Duggar family dynamic itself. As clips and summaries spread across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook groups, and discussion forums, reactions became increasingly polarized. Some social media users mocked the entire controversy, arguing that internet communities were inventing sinister meanings from ordinary emotional statements. Others insisted the repeated wedding references felt unsettling, especially given the family's long history of controversies involving control, purity culture, and rigid relationship expectations. And because the leaks were never fully verified in a universally accepted way, the uncertainty created the perfect environment for endless speculation. Every vague phrase became open to interpretation. Every emotional sentence became a debate. Every alleged reference to weddings or family ceremonies generated another wave of analysis videos, reaction posts, and viral comment threads. In many ways, the controversy reflected something much bigger than a single set of alleged emails. It revealed how modern internet culture processes scandal itself. Online audiences no longer simply consume celebrity controversies passively. They investigate them, analyze them, reconstruct them collectively in real time. And when a controversial public figure like Josh Duggar becomes involved, the internet's appetite for hidden meaning grows even stronger. Because for many viewers, the central question was no longer just whether the emails were real. The bigger question became, what exactly did those repeated references to family weddings actually reveal? This is the point where the controversy stopped being just about leaked messages and turned into a full-scale internet psychology debate. Up until now, much of the discussion had focused on whether the alleged emails were authentic, who leaked them, and how they spread online so quickly. But once commentators began analyzing the tone of the messages themselves, the conversation shifted dramatically. Across social media, Reddit threads, YouTube commentary channels, and reaction live streams, thousands of users began proposing theories about what the emails supposedly revealed emotionally. And one interpretation, in particular, quickly dominated the conversation. Many online critics became convinced the alleged messages pointed toward what they described as an obsession with remaining emotionally important during major Duggar family weddings. Not necessarily physically present, but emotionally central. According to these interpretations, Josh allegedly appeared highly focused on how relatives reacted to his absence, who mentioned him, who defended him, and whether family events still revolved around the emotional shadow he cast over them. That idea immediately triggered intense backlash online. Because to critics, the alleged language in the emails seemed less focused on celebrating marriages and more focused on preserving influence within the family dynamic itself. And for many internet commentators, that distinction became the entire story. Narration. Some online analysts argued the alleged emails reflected what they believed to be attention-seeking behavior. They pointed to portions of the leaks where Josh allegedly referenced family loyalty, emotional support, and maintaining connection to important milestones despite being incarcerated. Critics interpreted those statements as attempts to keep himself psychologically tied to family events, especially weddings, which historically played a huge role in the Duggar family's public image. In online discussions, commenters repeatedly asked the same question. Was this truly about missing family moments? Or about wanting to remain emotionally relevant during them? That theory spread rapidly. Commentary creators began dissecting individual phrases from the alleged emails line by line, claiming certain wording suggested frustration over losing influence inside the family structure. Others argued the messages sounded like someone trying to measure their emotional importance from a distance. And because Duggar family weddings were once massive televised events watched by millions, internet critics believed the symbolism mattered even more. To some observers, weddings represented status, visibility, control, approval, and according to the online theories, losing access to that spotlight may have created resentment that commenters believed they could detect inside the alleged emails. Narration. Soon, the conversation escalated beyond ordinary gossip and entered the territory of amateur psychological analysis. Across forums and reaction videos, people began using terms like narcissism, emotional dependency, manipulation, and control. Some commentators speculated that the alleged messages reflected narcissistic tendencies, particularly the desire to remain central to family emotions even while physically removed from family life. Others theorized the emails revealed anxiety over becoming irrelevant. According to those interpretations, the alleged fixation on weddings symbolized something larger: a fear of losing emotional authority within the Duggar family hierarchy. But this is where the situation becomes extremely important to separate carefully. None of these psychological theories were verified facts. Most were based entirely on public interpretation, speculation, and internet commentary. No licensed evaluation supported the viral claims spreading online. And many critics of the online reaction warned that audiences were crossing the line between discussing alleged behavior and attempting to diagnose someone they had never met. Still, that caution did very little to slow the momentum. Because modern internet culture often rewards emotional analysis as entertainment, especially when audiences already have strong opinions about controversial public figures. Narration. Another major factor driving the discussion was parasocial analysis culture. For years, viewers had watched the Duggar family through reality television, interviews, documentaries, tabloid coverage, and scandal reporting. Audiences felt like they knew these people personally. And when viewers develop that kind of long-term emotional familiarity with public figures, they often begin interpreting behavior the same way they would interpret the actions of someone inside their own family. That dynamic was everywhere in the reaction videos. Commentators spoke with incredible confidence about motivations, insecurities, rivalries, and emotional manipulation, despite relying mostly on fragments of alleged leaked communication. Entire live streams were built around decoding emotional meaning from isolated sentences. Body language experts weighed in on old interview clips. Comment sections filled with people constructing psychological profiles from years of media appearances. And because the Duggar family had already been associated with scandals, secrecy, and public distrust, many audiences were predisposed to interpret the alleged emails in the darkest possible way. For some viewers, the leak seemed to confirm beliefs they already held. For others, the internet reaction itself became disturbing. Narration. Not everyone agreed with the viral interpretations. Some people argued the public was reading far too deeply into vague messages. Others believed the internet was actively projecting motives onto the alleged emails because Josh Duggar had already become such a polarizing figure. A few commentators even warned that online communities sometimes create narratives first and then search for evidence afterward. That criticism sparked another debate. Were people objectively analyzing the alleged leaks, or simply interpreting them through pre-existing hatred? Supporters of that argument pointed out that emotionally charged language can easily be misread when audiences already expect manipulation or narcissism. And because only fragments of the alleged emails circulated publicly, critics argued context may have been missing entirely. But by that point, the speculation machine had already taken over. Videos with dramatic titles spread across YouTube. TikTok creators summarized theories in short viral clips. Reddit users compiled evidence threads, attempting to connect the alleged emails to years of past Duggar controversies. And with every new reaction, the narrative became even more sensationalized. Narration. What made the controversy especially powerful was that it combined several things the internet is naturally drawn toward: family drama, psychological speculation, reality television history, religion, scandal, and hidden private communication. That combination created the perfect environment for viral interpretation culture. Because once audiences believe they are uncovering someone, true personality, every detail suddenly starts feeling meaningful. Every sentence becomes a clue. Every emotional phrase becomes evidence. Every silence becomes suspicious. And whether the interpretations were fair or wildly exaggerated, one thing became undeniable. The alleged emails transformed into something much larger than leaked messages. They became a projection screen for years of public frustration, fascination, and distrust surrounding the Duggar family itself. As the alleged leaked emails continued circulating online, social media quickly transformed the controversy into a full-scale internet spectacle. On TikTok, short-form reaction videos exploded almost overnight. Creators posted emotional breakdowns, dramatic reenactments, and rapid-fire theories about what the messages could supposedly reveal. Some users approached the topic seriously, analyzing family behavior and past interviews frame by frame. Others treated the entire controversy like reality television drama unfolding in real time. The hashtag discussions grew rapidly as creators competed to offer the most shocking interpretation possible. And that's part of what makes modern internet controversies spread so quickly. The algorithm rewards emotional reactions. The more outrage, the more disbelief, the more speculation, the more visibility the story receives. Soon, commentary videos were appearing everywhere. On YouTube, creators began uploading hour-long breakdowns analyzing every detail connected to the alleged leaks. Some channels focused on psychological theories. Others discussed family loyalty, religious pressure, or possible manipulation dynamics inside the Duggar household. But not everyone agreed with the coverage. Critics accused some commentary channels of turning speculation into entertainment without sufficient evidence. They argued that internet creators were presenting rumors as facts simply because controversy attracts views. Others defended the discussions, claiming the public has a right to analyze information connected to a family that spent years building a public image through reality television and media appearances. That disagreement created an intense divide online. Some viewers believed the alleged emails revealed disturbing emotional patterns beneath the surface of the Duggar family image. Others believed internet audiences were projecting exaggerated theories onto incomplete information. And on Reddit, those divisions became even more visible. Large discussion threads filled with thousands of comments debating authenticity, motive, and psychology. Users compared timelines, searched for inconsistencies, and revisited older Duggar controversies looking for connections. This is part of a growing phenomenon often called internet detective culture. Online communities no longer just consume scandals, they investigate them. Every screenshot becomes evidence. Every interview becomes material for analysis. Every vague statement becomes fuel for another theory. And once that cycle begins, it becomes extremely difficult to stop. Memes also played a huge role in spreading the controversy further. As serious discussions unfolded, viral jokes and exaggerated headlines began circulating across social media. Some mocked the family's carefully constructed public image. Others turned the controversy into reaction memes designed purely for engagement. That combination of scandal, humor, outrage, and speculation is exactly what social media algorithms amplify most aggressively. the more emotional the conversation becomes, the longer it survives online. And that helps explain why Duggar-related controversies continue dominating internet discussion years after the family first became famous. For many viewers, the fascination comes from the enormous contrast between image and reality. The Duggars originally built their brand around faith, morality, discipline, and traditional family values. So every scandal that appears to contradict that image creates massive public curiosity. People want explanations. People want hidden truths. People want to understand how such dramatically different narratives can exist at the same time. And in today's online culture, that curiosity quickly transforms into nonstop content. Reaction videos, live stream debates, commentary channels, Reddit investigations, TikTok theories, viral headlines. The controversy becomes larger than the original story itself. At that point, the internet is no longer simply discussing events. It's building an entire ecosystem around them. In the end, whether these alleged jail emails truly expose a disturbing emotional fixation, or whether internet speculation has simply transformed vague frustrations into something far more dramatic, the controversy reveals something important about how the public now views the Duggar family. Years ago, the family built its public image around faith, structure, morality, and togetherness. Millions of viewers watched shows like 19 Kids and counting on believing they were witnessing a model of traditional family life. But after years of scandals involving Josh Duggar and growing criticism surrounding the family's culture, every rumor, leaked message, and internet theory is now interpreted through an entirely different lens. That shift in public perception may be the biggest story of all. For critics, the alleged wedding-focused comments discussed throughout these online leaks are not just about ceremonies, invitations, or family disagreements. They represent something much larger, a struggle over influence, over relevance, over emotional control, and over maintaining authority inside a family that has spent decades living in the public eye. Meanwhile, defenders of the family argue that the internet has created an environment where every private frustration becomes exaggerated into psychological analysis and viral conspiracy theories. In today's online culture, speculation spreads faster than verification, and audiences often fill in missing details themselves. And that may explain why this controversy exploded so quickly across YouTube commentary channels, Reddit discussions, TikTok reactions, and social media threads. People are no longer simply reacting to alleged leaked emails. They are reacting to everything the Duggar name now represents in popular culture: controversy, religious criticism, celebrity scandal, family power dynamics, and the collapse of a once carefully protected public image. Whether new information ever confirms or disproves these online theories, one thing is clear. The fascination surrounding the Duggar family continues to grow with every new rumor, every viral discussion, and every alleged leak that appears online. And in the world of internet outrage and non-stop social media commentary, that attention cycle rarely slows down. Thanks for watching, and until next time,